Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam, and this channel is about film, my love of cinema, and my journey into filmmaking. The purpose of this video today is to talk about the opinions of others. Mainly critics. So what I'm here to speak about, very humbly, I must say, is don't listen to critics. Do your own thing. Don't make whatever you want to make with the opinions of others in mind. And when I say opinions of others, I don't mean constructive criticism or the team that you'll be working with, because you need to work with them, and I'll get into that shortly. We'll talk about that soon, about working with the right people, working with the right team, which could consist of you and 2 other people, or 10 other people, 20 people, or more, right? Or 50 people, or 100 people. But we'll talk about that soon. What I'm saying here is that you shouldn't cater and dance to the beat of critics or potential, biased opinions of others based on how they feel about themselves, because how they feel about themselves has got nothing to do with the movie or the film that you're trying to make. You need to make the film which is true to you, true to your own heart, and true to your vision of what you want to bring to the big screen, bring to the audience, from the idea in your mind to the final to the vision realized, to the final creation realized. So in between that process, in between those 2 points, the people that you work with, the people that are in harmony with your vision, who are emotionally sympathetic to what you're trying to create as a team effort. It's a team effort. That's all that matters. After you release it out into the world, you put your best foot forward, and you put all your love and your heart into what you're making, and you give it to the world, and whatever comes after that, hopefully, if you've got good intentions in mind, you can only hope it and assume it to be well received, and nothing but love and gratitude come your way, or admiration, appreciation of what you've made. You're not going to get everyone in the world to like what you've made, and I think that's a healthy thing. That's a healthy thing to realize from the onset, that you're never going to please everyone. You have to make the film for yourself. You're doing it to please yourself, to nurture your own heart, and anything put out in love, as I see it, is that all that you can hope for is to the audience to feel what you felt. How you felt about what you've created is what you want the audience to feel when they see what you've made. The same feeling that you felt about it as you were making it is what you want the audience to experience. You want them to feel the same way that you did about it. That's all you gotta be concerned with, really. And that will be in the final version of what you make. That will be in the created vision, is what you felt about it, because that's exactly why you made it. So how you felt about it is what you want the audience to feel as they're experiencing it too. That is the ultimate goal of this. That is the, you know, that's the mission, you know. Don't worry about the negative things in society, the opinions of others, you know, people that just like to criticize people purely for the sake of, you know, criticizing them, you know, just you know, just for the sake of it, you know. So don't even think about these people. That's what I'm saying, you know. Maybe some people, you know, that you got to see it like this. Your mind, your heart is on a vision, which is like unshakable. It's unmoving. It's within, you know. It's within you, and that's not being caught up and dragged around by the trivial events of society in that particular month or year, or maybe a few years, you know. You have to separate, you have to differentiate between the vision you see in your mind and your heart, you know, with the events of what might be going on around you. You know, that might be in the political sphere, you know, the economic sphere, you know. Don't let any of that stop you from making the film that you've set out to make, you know. Create the distance between that, you know, the separation, if you want to call it that. Create that barrier, that boundary. That's the right word. You have to create that boundary with the world around you. You know, you have to make what you want to make. You know, if you want to truly be successful, in my opinion, is an audience feeling the same way about what I feel about what I've made. I want them to feel what I feel. That for me is the ultimate success. Money or finance or, you know, compensation that's, you know, that's equally deserved, you know, in ratio to the work that I've put out. That's all secondary. That's another different world that will take care of itself. That it will be what it will be. You know, I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about making the film that my heart is set on. You know, what really makes me feel connected to the vision. You know, it's an experience. You know, in regards to filmmaking. So yeah, of course, you want to get paid as a filmmaker. It would be nice to do that, and obviously, the more successful you become, you know, if you work your way up to major studios, you need to be real. You know, you need to be a bit of a realist about this. A realist, like, you need to balance the creative input with commerce, like the economy, the economics of the film industry. You know, it is a business, and I think the best studios who, when they're being managed properly and they get the right creatives involved to make a film for them, they've got the right people with the right teams, the right filmmaker, director, with the right team of people, the right producer, and to balance, as I said, the creative input with the financial reward, you know. So it's got to be balanced, and the best films always deliver on that. So it speaks for itself. We get what we want as an audience, and the studios make more money as profit and to invest in more films. So that's what it's, you know, don't lose sight of that. That is ultimately what it is. You have to understand that from now on. But if your heart wants to go that big, you know, if you feel like you're going to go that way, you know. But I suppose to wrap up this this video, sorry, not live stream, video, you need to realize that the best films that come out, and from what I know, I mean, there are stresses involved, there are challenges and curveballs that will come up for filmmakers on set while they're making a film, but ultimately they're focused. Remain focused. Do not pay any attention to anything outside the craft of what you're doing. Don't listen to critics. Don't listen to negative people. You don't need to listen to them, okay? You don't need to listen to them. If they don't like what you've made, just see it as unfortunate. but don't dwell on it. Just focus on the people that are showing their appreciation for what you've made, and you'll feel really good about that, you know, because as I said, and don't even listen to the critics of the time. If something gets released, whether it's a local low budget communal project for the community, or whether it's a small or medium or large budget studio production for an actual studio, you never listen to the critics of the day anyway. I mean, as I said, you can acknowledge the positive reviews, you know, and carry on moving forward, and that's the best that you can ultimately do. Staying true to yourself, that is your, you know, don't compromise on that. Never do that, because that is where that's your commodity. That's what makes you so different. That's what makes you stand apart from other filmmakers. You need to fight for what you believe in and remain focused in where your vision is going, okay, with whatever it is that you want to put on the big screen, to put on film, right? So yeah, I'll end this live stream. I've done it again. I'll end this video on this quote by Frank Darabont, who was the director and producer of The Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile, and I think the first 2 seasons of The Walking Dead, if I'm right in saying. I quote him. Here's a quote by him where he says, "You never listen to the critics of the time. It's the audiences of the future who will be the real critics." You know, because he was just listing off some films. He listed off a few films that were not received well when they first got released. The Wizard of Oz, the original Wizard of Oz with Judy Garland, you know, that was getting really bad reviews when it first came out, and it grew on to be, you know, the classic that we all know it as, you know, because we're not the audiences of the future. I'm not saying that the audiences of the day won't like it. Hopefully the majority of people will be excited and amazed and inspired by what you've made, but even still, the audiences of the future, they're not caught up in all the drama of the time, you know, as I said, like the drama of the political atmosphere of the time, the economic atmosphere. You understand, they're not from that era, that space where all that stuff was going on. They're not clouded by any of that stuff, right? They're there just seeing what you've made objectively, and literally you're capturing what we call time. A film by filmmaker, you're capturing time. The actors on the film or on digital, you know, I'm capturing time now making this. And no one knows what's going on. Well, people in the future who watch this 20 years from now, I don't think you're watching. I don't think you're aware or caught up in the drama of the political antics of the you know, whatever it is going on, the economical stuff. You know, you're not really concerned by that, are you? Whoever's watching this, you know, 10, 20, 30 years down the line, but you're just seeing me now, objectively. Okay, so that's basically that's exactly what I'm trying. That's the message that I'm trying to convey here. Working with the right team, I think I'll make that on a separate video, because I'd like this to be what it is, and that can be another video. Okay, working with the right team. I mean, to give you a little tease of what that's going to consist of, what I'm going to say about that, I think it's obvious. I've already said it. It's about not compromising, staying true to yourself, and allowing people that are sympathetic to your feelings about what you're trying to make. So basically, it's something that you feel. You'll know who the right people are, who to work with. But that's that. I mean, I'm gonna go now. So if the light seems to have changed a little bit, the light that I'm using, it's run out of its battery. The battery died, but I think it's a good time to wrap this up. I really appreciate you listening to this. So yeah, I think the ultimate lesson here to learn is that stay true to your feelings. Don't compromise. Go out and make what you want to make, and release it out to the world, putting your best foot forward, in love, and welcoming in the people that are appreciative of what you've made, and don't pay attention to anything else, okay? Don't pay attention to critics. That's just my advice, okay? Because you don't want to be swayed from listening to your heart by how they feel about themselves, you know, because it may, you know, make you go off track a little bit. You know, you need to remain true to your feelings, and as a filmmaker, you need to lock yourself onto that vision, which is a goal, and yeah, don't sway from that. That is the destination. You need to stay true to that. So that means not listening to any sort of the negative influence, you know, that you may perceive externally. So yeah, my advice is try not to pay any attention to any of this sort of stuff, and only talk to the people that are in harmony with what with what your heart is set out to make, okay? And yeah, I think I'm gonna end it there. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.